Let's have a look. What is it that you need to say? What needs to be said? That's the kind of, you start off the reading with the Ace of Swords, which is about our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, and how we communicate it, right? This is my truth. That's what the Ace of Swords is. This is my truth. But when we get the King of Swords coming up in the future, who knows exactly what to do with that sword, to wield that sword, then this is going to be about knowing what you believe, first of all, what your own truth is, and then expressing it, doing something with it. Now, that's a very broad, general energy to come in, but think about it, and when we start applying, and I'll go through it, and we'll have a look at how we apply that. This is big. I've been saying it for everyone's got something big going on. There's no sign. And in fact, if you look at them all, I know some people have been watching all of them, very similar messages coming up. I could have just done one for everyone, and we could have used the energy for how we want to use it. Yours is around what you now know to be true. Now, and I will talk about that combination in just a moment. I'll come back to that. Let's have a look at, how did you figure that out? How did you figure out what your truth is by this? 10 of Wands. All the shit that you've been carrying. The 10 of Wands is where our plate is bloody overflowing. And not in a good way. It's overburdened with commitments and responsibilities. We're left carrying everything. So at work, you've been doing more than your fair share. This could be, or everything. You might have been adding different projects on, different passions on. Now it's become too much. Have a look at her. Do you see how she's carrying those? And she's trying to get to one of those houses there. We assume she lives there. Excuse me. And so if she's not really carrying the wands in the best possible way. She can't really see where she's going. Look how they're kind of falling around everywhere. She could split them into two piles and put one pile under one arm, one pile under the other. She could hold them a little closer. She could hold them to her. She could do something differently. But they're overwhelming her. That's the point of it. But all those wands are now overwhelming her. So it kind of feels like for a while now, at least, you've had this kind of feeling of, things that you started off and you were passionate about when you started them. Work maybe, relationships maybe, or whatever it was. It's not a bad thing. It's something that you were excited and passionate about. It got you all fired up. You were inspired by it. You wanted to create something. But we're at a point now where that shit has run its course. It's like, this is nothing but a burden now. Why am I left holding the baby? Why am I carrying all this stuff? That's the past. That is the past. So that's last week, last month, last year. It could be a pattern that you've done for a while now. And it's knowing when to put it all down. Now, you may be doing the same stuff that you've always done, and you're feeling like this, overburdened. That's where I think this Ace of Swords comes in, which is the truth around this. Why do I take on so much? Why am I always doing so much? Why am I filling every minute with action, or why am I, whatever it might be, whatever those 10, and it's going to be different, 10 wands, sorry, I hope I haven't been saying 10 swords, the 10 wands, whatever it is. But the beauty of that, and a lot of the signs have gotten this, I just want to say this as well. If I talk about other signs, because Leo, especially, and Aries usually do this, they get annoyed. It's because it's part of your message. It's not because you're sharing the limelight with another sign. So I just want to make that clear. But a lot of the signs have been getting this energy of whatever that struggle was, whatever that burden is that you've been carrying, whatever it's been, it's now the information that you need from that, or the purpose or the strength that you've built up, whatever it is, it's now this is what you need now to go forward. And that's you, Ace of Swords. You know something now out of that. What is your truth? What is your truth that you figured out? And what that truth is to do with the 8 of Pentacles is what you focus on, how you apply yourself. I will tell you this straight, whatever it is, if this is you've been breaking your back in a relationship, at work, whatever it is that you've been doing that around, it is around working smarter, not harder. That's what you figured out. Why do I have to be the one that sacrifices everything in a relationship? Why do I have to change up my workload to do this? It's that kind of an energy. And it's not an accusation, because it's about you. You've been applying this. You were the one that said, oh, I'll do it. Or I'll carry it. Or I'll take on that responsibility. This card does show a choice. And it never feels like a choice with the 10 of Wands. Because if I said to you, why are you carrying all that? You'd say, well, Jade, because I'd lose my house, or I'm going to lose my job, or, you know, that's the only way that I'm the only one earning, you know, whatever it might be. So it doesn't ever feel like a choice, but it is. And that's the most empowering way to say that I'm just going to get this done, put it down, and then I'm good to go. But whatever that was, you have got this truth out of it that you don't need to be applying yourself so much. And that's one bit. There's another message that comes in around this. And it may be, I'm getting this. It's about something that you may feel like you need to learn something. I need to do something, or find, there's a course that I could take, or something on the side, or, you know, that's a very, I know it's a very specific message. So it's not going to be, it might just be for one person. But I'm going to tell you this, you already know. King of Swords coming in says you already know. Now, a lot of the messages coming through haven't had a lot of major arcana cards. Yours has 2. You know, all right, you have a lot of mind. And the difference between that is we always have a choice on how we treat a situation. But these are larger energies in our life. They're more our path in life. They're across the board. They're not specific to one situation. They're going to affect everything. Even if that change is happening in one area, it's going to affect everything else. And so with that ace coming up, which that ace holds the potential for the whole suit. There is an idea here. There is a truth here. And it is about acting on that and giving effort to whatever that truth is. It's big. Why do I say that? Because you have judgment coming up at the heart of this reading. And whatever's at the heart of the reading, everything else revolves around it. This is a second chance at something. This is a rebirth of sorts. Judgment is very much that's whatever happened to you in Scorpio season, Leo. And, you know, Scorpio is your 4th house. So that would have been kind of big for you at a very deep internal place. That's why the Queen of Cups is coming up. Judgment does call for a decision to be made. And you trust me on this. You have the truth to do it. You have that sort of truth now to be able to do this, to be able to make that decision. But whenever that sort of truth comes out, something has to get cut away. Right? And I think it's that burden, whatever that burden is. And that doesn't mean that, you know, you just give it up or the responsibility. That's about delegation. That is about getting other people to come in and help. Whatever it might be, it's going to be a different solution for everyone. But you can't, that's the bottom line is you can't carry all that shit by yourself. And be in line with what your truth is and your heart is. So when judgment comes up, it calls for a judgment call, a call to arms, a call to action, right? We're going to do something with this. It's big. It's a big decision because have a look at these people. They died, right? And they're rising up from their graves. They're getting a second chance at life, a new life. This is the phoenix rising up from the ashes. This is coming out of that dark night of the soul energy. But why this is such a big decision is because everything's going to change from this. And I cannot stress enough, Leo, that you have everything that you need to do it. You have everything that you need to do this. And so with judgment, this can be, you know, something that you said, never again. I'm never doing that again. Maybe because last time it turned into that. Never getting a relationship again. Never trying that job again. Never doing that business again. Never following that dream again. Whatever it is. But think about these people. There is an old version of them that died, an old life that died for them to have a second life, to have a new life, right? And that's the same with you. This kind of working harder mentality and energy must go so that you can work smarter and work on the things that inspire you, that are part of your long-term security and stability. And I kind of feel like it's to do with you. It's an aspect of you, how you present yourself, how you show yourself, how you are in the world. Wow. You talk about facing the future without fear. Look at the Six of Swords coming out. This is, I'm not getting into those fights again. I'm not getting into that shit again. I'm moving on. Six of Swords is moving on. We don't know where they're going, but we know where we're not going back. And that's the key thing here. And that's a beautiful and wonderful place to start. I know what I'm not going back to. I know what matters to me. I know what I stand for. I know what I'm willing to defend. Whenever the sevens come up, sevens have been coming up a lot actually this time. Sevens are, is it worth it? Is it worth defending? Is it worth fighting? Fighting for, rather, you know. What is worth defending? Like, even though there's a lot of shit coming at me, am I willing to stand up? Is it worth it for that? Is it worth me putting more energy into this? But it's something new. It's something new. And even if it's, I mean, with Judgment, nothing is ever the same again. Nothing is ever the same again. Their lives are gone. Those lives are gone. It's a new life they're coming into. It's a complete transformation. If this is in a relationship, it's like getting to know each other again. If this is around work, it's setting different ground rules. No, I will not do that. No, this is what I'm passionate about. Not doing that anymore. Six of Swords, Judgment. That's massive energy. You bet that bloody sword of truth is coming down. And if you notice with the Six of Swords, there's always swords in their boat that they take with them. They've learned the lessons. They've learned the lessons from what they have endured, the fights that they've had, the healing that they've done, the pain that they've learned those lessons. They don't need to learn more of that shit. They're like, we're going to move on. We're going somewhere else. To a fight that is worth fighting with that Seven of Wands coming up. And I don't mean that in a kind of aggressive kind of way. Just, things that matter to us. I'm willing to go in and defend this. I'm willing to go and fight for this. It's very easy to just, nope out of a situation, say, yeah, I ain't doing that. But what if it matters to you? I'm going to say it again. It's about working smarter, not harder. And the thing is, you have the smarts to do this. But it's a new truth. It's not doing it the old way. I mean, the Seven of Wands, Judgment, Six of Swords, all of that is very much pointing at that. So let's have a look at what comes up with Temperance. Now, Temperance, that's a card for Sagittarius. That's your 5th house. So have a look at the story that's unfolding here. In Scorpio season, you have found out what doesn't matter to you. You know what you're done with. You know what was a burden on you. You know what's been... And think about with that Seven of Wands. She's defending. She's being defensive, right? And so when you're defending, you're stopping the shit coming at you. But where's your expression of your energy? And that's where this is flipping. It's less about what you have to deal with now. It's more about what am I putting out into the world? And that is in line with your 5th house, which is Sagittarius, which is creation, right? Creating from the heart. What are you doing now? What matters to you? What do you want to give birth to? What do you want to create, right? And if you watch the introduction to Sagittarius Season Challenge, you would have heard me talking at length about the Temperance card. And Temperance, it's about... I mean, think about this. This is a pause. We stop here for a moment to take stock of where we are. You've done the review, Scorpio season, what matters to me, what doesn't, etc. This is to take stock. Do you live a balanced, I was going to say, you live in a balanced life? Bloody hell. Do you live a balanced life? Is it balanced? Now, what does that mean? It means whatever this was, right? That's the way she's dealing with it is not balanced. The way she's carrying those wands isn't balanced. Are you working too hard? Are you playing too hard? Are you focusing a lot on your love life, but not enough on your career? Are you taking some downtime for yourself, or are you just doing stuff for other people? Where is the balance? And it has to be a balance between, look, 1 foot in the water, how she feels, 1 foot on earth in what she's actually doing and creating in the real world. And Temperance urges us moderation in all things. Moderation in all things. Now, how do we do that? It means all of our focus can't be on one area. It means that instead of having things in fragments, like this is me at work, this is me at home, this is me when I play, we don't do that. It's about bringing across the board, we bring balance to that. So instead of, one of the examples that I gave around Temperance is you might work like mad Monday to Friday, like, no time for yourself, nothing Monday to Friday. Then you spend all weekend in bed or all weekend trying to regain the fun to recharge your batteries. That is not balanced. It's about incorporating that into your day to day. Temperance wants encourages us to break down the walls and the barriers that we have between everything. So, and ultimately, whatever these cards show, it happens within us first. Where are you giving all your energy? I kind of feel it's a way of doing things that has changed. A way of doing things that has changed. But Temperance is not just about stopping. And it talks about patience, but it's not about just stopping and not doing anything. Let's just wait for it. And I don't like that Temperance. I used to kind of have that kind of interpretation of Temperance, divine timing, all of that. But that's what divine timing is, to get our lives in order so that the things can come through, so we can see, where am I being held back? What have I been focusing too much on? And that's why the card after Temperance is the Devil, because it shows us where we're held back, what we're too attached to. So with Temperance and that Sagittarius energy, it's about all of that, everything that we've learned, everything that's going on with in our lives. Our experience has shown us what's the burden, where our truth is, what we're done with in the past, where we're ready to move on, go forward. And it's bringing that all together in a very spontaneous way. Now, you're a fire sign. That shouldn't be a problem for you. But it is that. It's what's the point of having experienced all of this stuff if we don't channel it into some action that we take today? Now, as I said in that one, it can be that it's a progression, because it's nothing to do with masculine and feminine. In fact, all of the people in these cards, they're all female. It's all feminine energy that comes up, all of this. And we all have that. We all have masculine and feminine energy. Yin is where we hold space. Yang is where we take action. So we are all capable of that. That's where we find the balance anyway within ourselves. But with the Queen of Swords coming up here, with Temperance, why are we paused? It's again, it's about the knowledge that you've gained from all of your experiences. It's key. That's absolutely key. Sagittarius season is going to show you who you have become. And you couldn't see that before because you had all that crap that you were carrying. All you were focused on was what you were carrying, the burden, how it all became too much work, too much this, too much everything, too much responsibility. But something out of all of that has shown you who you are. Now, are you expressing who you are in every aspect of your life? Do you go to work and play a certain role? And trust me on this, I get it. Even I have a more professional side and a more relaxed side, but that is a strength of who I am. I'm not a different person. I've actually had people on calls with me when I've been out, like in the supermarket or stuff, and they've heard me talking to people, and they're like, you talk to everyone in exactly the same way. I do, because that's my Queen of Swords. I know who I am. I speak that truth, all the time. That's her. She's not afraid. Now, that's the point of this, is the fearlessness, the truth that comes in. If there's a big decision, there must be a big decision to make, with Judgment coming up, Judgment call, Ace of Swords coming up, and the King and Queen of Swords, which they are fabulous at making decisions. They're very logical. But the thing with her is, it's her experience that has determined who she is. She is the Queen of Swords. She's the heartbreak queen, the widow queen. She's gone through everything. But her kind of less evolved energy, let's put it that way, of where she hasn't fully understood her power, she has reacted to what's happened to her in a very dark way, is that experience becomes her story. So if she hasn't understood her role in it and who she's become, she will always make judgments about other people, which is, say she's had lots of breakups, love is bullshit, I'm not going to get in any relationships, people suck, but that's not the truth. She is blanketing that truth across everything. Whereas an evolved Queen of Swords, someone who's in her power, what she does is say, look at me, I survived all of this. Look at who I've become through these challenges. I'm not afraid of anything. And she doesn't restrict what comes up for her now. She is able to take her sword of truth forward and go and speak her truth. Are you speaking your truth? And it's a newfound truth. You may finalize that truth within this next month, or whenever this reading is for you. You may be finalizing that. But I find it very interesting that we have, look at the Queen of Swords this way. We have the Queen of Cups looking in that way. The head and the heart. But you're getting clear on what your head is saying. You are all heart. Leo rules the heart. That is Leo energy. I will. And that is I will do this. It's not a future statement. It's I will it. I desire it. This is, so mote it be. It's that kind of energy that because I feel it, this is how it's going to be. But the mind is what figures out a plan for how we do that. This is you. Who have you become? And she is fearless. And the thing with the Queen of Swords is that because she's gone through so much and because she has survived so much, nothing can take her down. She knows nothing can take her down. She's already survived so much. So what is she afraid of? She knows as long as she speaks her truth, she is good. And she is open to hearing other people's truth. It doesn't affect her because she knows what her truth is. And she knows that as I have my truth, other people have their truths. And that one's a big one. Because a lot of times what people do, and I give this example a lot, is say if we were having a conversation and I said to you, and you said to me, I like blue. And I said, I like red. Now, what some people hear is not, oh my God, that's their truth and this is my truth. What they turn around and think is, are you telling me it's wrong to like red? Are you telling me it's wrong? And I'm like, no, I'm just telling you I like blue. Like, you know, that's that kind of a thing. She doesn't have that problem. She's like, that's cool. I like red. You like blue. It's all good. So there's this balance that comes in around that. But it's a lot about the expression of your truth. Now, expressing it and hearing other people's truth as well. There's a balance that is needed here. But there is a complete fearlessness that comes up around that. And what happens when that happens? Well, you have the meeting of two minds here, or you have a progression. So it's going to work out differently. It's when you speak your truth, somebody else will speak their truth back. If you are waiting to hear a truth, Ace of Swords sometimes can be that. You know what the truth is with that judgment card you make, but it was waiting for you to make a decision. Let's not forget the Ace of Swords. It's a hard-won truth. It is a victory card. We went through to hell and back to get that truth. You know, that's usually comes, well, the 10 of Wands is here, but the 10 of Swords is usually how we get that. We've pulled all those swords out. And the Queen of Swords has done judgment again and again and again. She's done that review. She's forgiven people. She understands who she's become and she goes forward with whoever she's become, speaking her truth. This is the birth of a new Leo we see here. But it's not enough for you to just know it. It's not enough for that. Now it's about you expressing that out into the world, and for that version of you, Leo, to go forward and make those decisions and to speak from that place. That is where that moderation and balance comes in. That is how you will know. It must be across the board. It can't be, I have this one special person that I go and tell all this stuff to. You know, it's almost like, you know, this is who you are. So if this is who you are, let's go show the world who you are, right? All right, my lovies. I love you guys very much. I will see you next time. That's all for now. Goodbye.